Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine on the Navy Sports Network. The Navy wrestling team getting ready to head to West Point to take on Army for the annual Star Match and their final activity of the regular season before heading to the EIWA Championships, and then hopefully for a lot of Navy wrestlers on to St. Louis for the NCAA Championships. Joining us now, 2020 NCAA at-large qualifier Casey Cobb. Casey, as this week gets started for you guys, plenty of momentum right now in the room, 2 consecutive duels where you guys have won every match. What's the momentum like in that room right now as you guys get set to take on your arch rivals coming up on Friday?
Yeah, guys are feeling good. I think definitely having those last 2 shutout wins have been huge. Beating Lehigh was definitely huge for our confidence too. So I mean, we're excited to be able to go up to West Point and kind of get back, what we haven't been able to do in the last few years, and kind of make a statement for the years to come.
The guys the other night against George Mason, was it kind of a message from the coaches? It seemed a lot of guys were very aggressive early, a lot of takedowns, 10, 15 seconds into matches, whereas some folks had kind of been waiting around, maybe not even at times generating a ton of offense. It seemed like the coaching staff had an edict the other night to get some offense going, and several of you guys did that on Friday night.
Back when we wrestled against Cleveland State, they just talked about how, hey, we're not trying new things, we're not being aggressive enough, and so that's one of the things all of us went out against Cleveland State, trying to generate offense and just kind of have fun out there. A lot of the times we just wrestle a little too tense, I think, and so against George Mason, guys just started opening up and started enjoying themselves out there and stopped. I think too often we have this mentality of we just go out there and we're just trying to win matches instead of generating, instead of putting points on the board. But that's kind of something we've talked about as a team, is we stop just focusing on winning matches just by 1 point or just getting the win. And we start focusing on just putting points on the board and wrestling, the best that we can. That's when we really do put up the most points, and it's the easiest to wrestle, and it's fun. It's more fun to wrestle in those matches, and it's more fun to watch those matches too.
What's been the key as an experienced wrestler in this program to be receptive of the new message, and more importantly, execute that new message that your coaches are trying to get you guys to do each day in that room?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of what we're doing this year is the same message from years before, but certainly, Coach Colot's done a great job of coming in and kind of realigning certain things, about our culture and so just kind of as a senior, part of our job as seniors is just kind of helping guys to buy into that message. And it really hasn't been hard, because I think just coming in, Coach Colot, I think there was a lot of respect, before him coming in, and a lot of guys, kind of, he's a big name. And so it wasn't hard, I guess, to make that sell for people to buy into that message. But a big part of it is just leading by example and, doing, when coach says something, buying into that message and doing it.
You took a double jump in weight class this year, and we, on the surface, people see, 133, 149, it's only 16 pounds. But what kind of differences, if any, have you found there during the course of this season by taking that double jump up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I was pretty nervous kind of going into it. I really wasn't sure, if I'd be, strong enough to be a 149 pounder, because, as a 133 pounder, I would wrestle every now and then, with the 149 pounders in practice, and they all felt very big and they felt very strong. And so making that jump, I guess I just kind of had to kind of go all in with it. And once I did, I've gotten a few matches under my belt now. I'm got 8 matches behind my belt, and man, it's made all the difference. I haven't, those things that I was scared about, I was scared about guys feeling big, but guys really haven't felt all that much bigger than 133 at all. I feel strong, and, I've always had good conditioning. But at 149, I just feel like I can go, and I feel like I get to the end of 7 minutes and I feel fresh and my arms are still strong, and that, you know, the effects of cutting weight just, you know, I don't feel any of it, you know. And so I'd say that's the biggest difference, is just being fresh, being able to go on the mat, you know, without having to completely drain myself beforehand.
Being a three-time state champion out of the state of Idaho, out of the great city of Kuna, you're a long way from home. How different is the Casey Cobb now in this final season than the one that left Kuna, Idaho a few years ago, and is going to be representing this country as a United States Marine very soon?
Yeah, you know, it's funny when I go back and watch, you know, old videos of me wrestling, and to a certain degree, I still do some of the same things, but yeah, I've come a long ways, I would say, and definitely a whole different wrestler, as far as my ability and as my confidence and my mindset goes. So
This week, you guys take on your arch rival. How do you keep the tempo good during the week of practice, but yet you want to make sure that guys emotionally and physically peak kind of at the same time? And you guys have some wrestlers in that lineup now that are, you know, taking on an increased role in that starting lineup. How do you get them to temper everything during the course of the week and help them out as you get set to take on your arch rivals on Friday?
right. So I mean, we talked about it kind of in the locker room this past week. You know, this is, you know, it's it's a big week. It's a big deal. And especially, you know, after losing that heartbreaking one last year where we tied, but we came just barely short. You know, there's a lot of emotions going into it. But at the end of the day, it's just another wrestling match, you know. And if we start to look at it any other way, and people go out there and wrestle a little bit different than they've been wrestling all year, that's when things can go wrong. We need guys to go out there and compete at the same level they've been competing all year. Raise the level, you know, fix the things they need to fix. But this is no different than any other thing that we've been doing all year. And if guys compete the way they've been competing and keep that upward trend with things, I think we're going to be just fine. And that's what guys got to do.
Casey, appreciate the time this morning. Best of luck as you guys take on Army coming up on Friday.
Hey, appreciate it.